The clock on my nightstand read 11:47 p.m. 17 years, 11 months, and 29 days of my life had led to this single moment. And I was about to make a decision that would either save me or destroy everything I thought I knew about family. My name is Elena Marie Vasquez, and in exactly 13 minutes, I would turn 18 years old. But I wasn't celebrating. I wasn't surrounded by friends or balloons or a birthday cake with 18 candles flickering in the dark. Instead, I was sitting on the cold tile floor of my bathroom, my back pressed against the porcelain tub, my hands shaking so violently that I could barely hold the phone to my ear. "You need to do it tonight, Elena. Before midnight. Before she has the chance." My attorney's voice crackled through the speaker, urgent and low. He'd been my grandmother's lawyer for 30 years. He'd known me since I was a baby. And he'd never, in all that time, sounded so terrified. "I don't understand," I whispered, my voice barely audible above the pounding of my own heart. "She's my mother. She wouldn't." "Elena, listen to me very carefully. I just got off the phone with the bank. Your mother went there this afternoon. She tried to access the trust fund early. She had forged documents with your signature. If she succeeds, everything your grandmother worked her entire life to give you will be gone before sunrise." The air left my lungs. I couldn't breathe. The bathroom suddenly felt like it was closing in around me, the white tiles pressing against my skin, suffocating me. Forged, my signature? The words felt foreign in my mouth, like I was speaking a language I didn't understand. "She's my mom. Why would she?" "She's in debt, Elena. Deep debt. And she knows that once you turn 18, you control the trust. Not her. She needs to get to it before that happens. You have until midnight to make the transfer to the secure account I've set up for you. If you don't do it, she'll find a way to drain everything." I looked at my reflection in the mirror across from me. The girl staring back was a stranger. Dark circles under her eyes from sleepless nights. A hollow expression that betrayed the 1,000 questions screaming inside her head. I'd always thought my mother was my safe place. My protector. The one person in this world who would never, ever hurt me. But my grandmother had warned me. 5 years ago, on her deathbed, she'd grabbed my hand with surprising strength and pulled me close. "Listen to me, Elena," she'd whispered, her voice like rustling leaves. "One day, your mother is going to come for that money. I've seen the signs. I've watched her make the same mistakes her father made. When that day comes, you need to be stronger than your love for her. You need to protect yourself." At the time, I'd brushed it off. My mother was grieving. My grandmother didn't know what she was saying. But now, staring at my own terrified face in the darkness of my bathroom, I understood. "Mr. Chen," I said, my voice trembling. "What if I can't do it? What if I freeze? What if?" "Elena, you can do this. Your grandmother believed in you. She specifically designed this trust so that no one, not even your mother, could touch it without your explicit permission after your 18th birthday. But we have to get the money secured before midnight. I need you to log into the account right now and authorize the transfer to the protected holding account. Once it's there, it's untouchable. Even by court order." I heard the soft click of a door downstairs, and my blood turned to ice. My mother was home. She was supposed to be working the night shift at the hospital. She wasn't supposed to be back until 7 a.m. "Mr. Chen, she's here. She's home early. Oh my God, she's home early. Elena, listen to me. You have minutes. Not hours. Minutes. You need to get to your laptop right now. Do not let her see what you're doing. If she suspects anything." "I know. I know." I scrambled to my feet, nearly slipping on the tile floor. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely grip the door handle. "I'll call you back when it's done." "No. Don't hang up. Keep me on the line." I'll guide you through it step by step. Don't let her. My mother's voice cut through the silence like a knife. Elena? Honey, are you still awake? I froze. My hand was on the doorknob. The phone pressed against my ear. And my entire life was about to shatter into pieces. I have to go, I whispered into the phone, and before Mr. Chen could respond, I ended the call. I took a breath. 2 breaths. 3. I forced my hands to stop shaking. I straightened my spine, smoothed down my t-shirt, and opened the bathroom door. My mother was standing in the hallway, still wearing her hospital scrubs, a tired smile on her face. She looked exactly like she always did, like the woman who had raised me alone after my father walked out when I was 3. The woman who worked double shifts to put food on the table. The woman who held me when I cried and cheered for me when I succeeded. But there was something different in her eyes tonight. Something sharp and calculating. Something that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Sweetheart, she said, walking toward me with open arms. I know it's almost your birthday. I wanted to surprise you. She pulled me into a hug, and I could feel her heart beating fast against my chest. I know things have been hard since Abuela passed. But I want you to know that I've always done everything for you. Everything. My throat tightened. For a second, just a second, I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe that the woman holding me was the same woman who had read me bedtime stories and kissed my forehead and told me I could be anything I wanted to be. Then I heard Mr. Chen's words echo in my head, she's in debt, Elena. Deep debt. I love you, Mom, I said, pulling back. I'm so tired. I think I'm going to go to bed. I can see you in the morning. Something flickered across her face. Fear. Desperation. A flash of something I'd never seen in my mother's eyes before. Actually, she said, her voice too bright, too cheerful, I was thinking we could talk tonight. Just for a few minutes. About your abuela's trust fund. There's something I need to tell you. My heart stopped. If this story resonates with you, leave a comment telling me where you're watching from. I thought we didn't have to worry about that until tomorrow, I said carefully, my mind racing. I thought the money was safe until I turn 18. She laughed, a high, brittle laugh that didn't reach her eyes. Of course it is, honey. I've been thinking. You're so young. 18 is such a big responsibility. And with college coming up, and all those expenses. I was thinking maybe it would be better if I managed the money for you for a little while. Just until you're more established. I felt the blood drain from my face. Every instinct inside me was screaming. My mother was trying to take my inheritance. Mom, I said slowly, stepping back. Abuela specifically said the money was mine. She made that very clear. She said no one else could touch it. Your abuela, my mother said, and something dark crept into her voice, didn't know what she was talking about. She was old, Elena. Confused. She didn't understand what it means to survive. I need you to trust me. I need you to sign some papers. Just a few signatures, and everything will be fine. I looked at her. Really looked at her. And for the first time in my life, I saw my mother for who she truly was. Where are the papers? I asked, my voice surprisingly steady. Her eyes lit up. They're in my bag. I'll go get them right now. Just wait here, okay? Don't go anywhere. She turned and rushed down the hallway, her footsteps echoing on the wooden stairs. And I knew, with absolute certainty, that I had minutes to save myself. I ran to my room, closed the door, and pulled out my laptop. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely type my password. The laptop took an eternity to boot up. Every second felt like an hour. I could hear my mother downstairs, rummaging through her bag, probably looking for those forged documents. I opened the browser. Navigated to the bank. Entered my username. My password. Two-factor authentication. The screen flickered, and there it was, the trust fund. Over $3 million. My grandmother's entire life savings. Everything she had worked for, saved for, sacrificed for. And I was about to lock it all away from my own mother. I clicked the transfer button. Entered Mr. Chen's protected account number. The system prompted me, "Are you sure you want to transfer all funds from this account?" My finger hovered over the mouse. I could hear my mother's footsteps on the stairs. She was coming back. "Is it done?" Mr. Chen's text appeared on my screen. He must have known exactly what was happening. I typed my response with trembling fingers. "Not yet." "Almost." Then the door to my room swung open. "Elena," my mother said, standing in the doorway. She was holding a thick stack of papers. Her face was flushed, and there was a wild, desperate look in her eyes. "I need you to sign these. Right now." The cursor blinked on my screen. "Are you sure you want to transfer all funds from this account?" I looked at my mother. The woman who had raised me, who had loved me, who was now standing in my bedroom with forged documents in her hands, and I made a choice. I clicked confirm transfer without taking my eyes off my mother. The screen flashed. Transfer complete. Funds secured. And in that exact moment, everything changed. "Elena." My mother's voice cut through the silence like shattered glass. "What did you just do?" I slowly closed my laptop. The click echoed in the room like a gunshot. "I protected myself," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. "Like Abuela told me to." Her face went pale. Not the pale of surprise. The pale of someone watching their entire plan crumble to dust. "Open the laptop. Right now." "No." She stepped into the room. The papers in her hands were shaking. "Elena Marie Vasquez, I am your mother. You will do what I say. Open the laptop." Something inside me snapped. Years of silence. Years of pretending everything was fine. Years of carrying the weight of a family secret I hadn't even known existed until 20 minutes ago. "Tell me what's in those papers," I said, standing up from my desk. "Tell me what you were going to make me sign." She looked at the stack in her hands, and for a moment, I saw something flicker across her face. Guilt. Shame. But it vanished as quickly as it appeared, replaced by cold calculation. "Those are loan documents," she said, her voice dropping to a whisper. "I was going to consolidate some debt. That's all. I just needed your signature because the trust fund was listed as collateral." I almost laughed. "Almost. Collateral? Mom, I'm 17. I can't even sign a legal document without a guardian." "You weren't just asking me to sign. You were forging my signature, weren't you? That's why you went to the bank today. You tried to access the account before I turned 18. Her face crumpled. The mask she'd been wearing for 17 years. The doting mother, the hard-working single parent, the selfless martyr, it all crumbled away in that moment. "How do you know about that?" she whispered. "Elena, how do you know?" "Mr. Chen called me," I said, and I watched her entire body stiffen. "He told me everything. The debt. The forged documents. The fact that you've been planning this for months." The silence between us was suffocating. I could hear the clock ticking on my nightstand. 11:56 p.m. In 4 minutes, I would be 18 years old. And for the first time in my life, I would be legally an adult. Free from her control. Months? She laughed, a hollow, broken sound that made my skin crawl. "Elena, I've been planning this for years. Ever since your grandmother told me she was leaving everything to you. Everything. Do you know what it's like to be told by your own mother that you're not worthy of your family's legacy? That your own daughter deserves it more than you do?" I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. "What are you talking about? Abuela loved you. She always said. She always said I was a disappointment. My mother's voice rose to a shout, and I saw the tears streaming down her face. She said I threw my life away by having you too young. She said I was reckless and irresponsible and that I would never amount to anything. And you know what? She was right. She was so right. I stepped back. My back hit the wall. Mom. Don't mom me. She threw the papers across the room, and they scattered like white birds taking flight. You have no idea what it's like to be in my shoes. Working double shifts. Coming home exhausted. Watching my friends travel and buy houses and live their lives while I'm stuck in this prison of responsibility. I was supposed to get that money. Not you. Me. Your grandmother was going to leave it to me, but then you were born, and suddenly I wasn't important anymore. You were everything. The tears were flowing freely down my face now. I couldn't stop them. So all those years, all those nights you told me you loved me, all those hugs and kisses and "you can be anything you want to be" speeches, it was all a lie? She looked at me, and something in her eyes softened. For just a moment, I saw the mother I thought I knew. The one who had held me when I was sick. The one who had scraped together money for my ballet lessons. The one who had promised me that we would always be a team. No, she said, her voice breaking. That wasn't a lie. I do love you, Elena. I've always loved you. But love and survival don't always go together. The clock struck midnight. The sound of the chime seemed to shake us both out of our trance. I looked at the clock. 12 a.m. I was 18 years old. Happy birthday to me. I'm moving the money, I said, my voice barely a whisper. Tonight. Mr. Chen has already set up an account that no one can touch. Not even you. Not even a court order. My mother's face went white. You can't do that. That's illegal. I'm your mother. I have rights. You have the right to be in my life if I let you, I said, and the words felt like poison leaving my mouth. But that money is mine. Abuela gave it to me. Not you. And I'm not giving you the chance to destroy whatever future she wanted me to have. She walked toward me, her hands outstretched. Elena, please. Please don't do this. I'm begging you. I'll lose everything. The house. The car. Everything. They'll take it all. Please, baby, please. There was desperation in her voice. Genuine, raw desperation. And despite everything, despite the lies and the manipulation and the betrayal, a part of me wanted to save her. But then I remembered my grandmother's words on her deathbed. When that day comes, you need to be stronger than your love for her. Mr. Chen said you have over $200,000 in gambling debt, I said quietly. The house is already in foreclosure. You already lost the car last month and didn't tell me. You were never going to use that money for me. You were going to use it to save yourself, and then what? When you lost it all again, where would I be? My mother's face twisted into something I'd never seen before. Hatred. Pure, unfiltered hatred. You selfish little. Get out. The words came from somewhere deep inside me. Somewhere I didn't know existed. Excuse me, she spat. I said get out of my room. My voice was steady. Strong. The voice of someone who had finally found their power. You don't get to call me selfish when you were literally planning to steal from me. You don't get to stand there and pretend you're the victim. You had 17 years to tell me the truth. You had 17 years to fix this. And you chose to lie. You chose to manipulate. So no, I'm not going to let you take my future because you couldn't handle yours. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. In a way, she probably didn't. The daughter she'd known was gone. In her place was someone who had just realized that love and trust were two very different things. "Where are you going to go?" she asked, her voice dripping with contempt. "You have nowhere to go. No one is going to take you in. You have no friends, no family. Just that old lawyer who only cares about the money." The words stung. They were meant to. But I refused to let them break me. "Actually," I said, pulling my phone out of my pocket, "I already called Mr. Chen. He's sending a car. It's going to be here in 15 minutes. I'm going to stay with him and his wife for a few days until I figure things out." A knock on the front door echoed through the house. "Perfect timing," I said. My mother's face went through a series of transformations. Shock. Disbelief. And then something that looked almost like relief. Like a weight she'd been carrying had finally been lifted. "I didn't want it to come to this," she said quietly. "I really didn't." "I know," I replied, and I realized I meant it. But it did. I walked past her, down the hallway, and toward the front door. My legs felt like they belonged to someone else. My hands were still shaking, but I kept them at my sides, refusing to let her see my weakness. "You'll come back, you know," she called after me. "They always come back. You'll realize that family is the only thing that matters, and you'll come back." I opened the front door. Mr. Chen was standing there, his face a mixture of relief and concern. Behind him, his wife sat in the car, her kind eyes watching me with understanding. "Are you okay, Elena?" Mr. Chen asked softly. I turned around and looked at my mother. She was standing in the doorway of my room, a ghost in her own home. And in that moment, I realized something profound. She wasn't the only one who had been lying. I had been lying to myself too. For years. Telling myself that everything was fine. That our family was normal. That my mother's love was unconditional. But love isn't supposed to come with conditions. It isn't supposed to come with a price tag. It isn't supposed to be something you can buy and sell. "No," I said, turning back to Mr. Chen. "But I will be." I walked to the car. I didn't look back. But the biggest shock was still waiting for me. The one that would make everything I thought I knew about my family crumble into dust. If this story resonates with you, leave a comment telling me where you're watching from.